Hello fellow sim racers. If you've come here from the Which Racing Sim Has the Slowest AI video, then you'll probably understand what this is all about. But for everyone else, I've determined that Project Cars 2 has the slowest possible AI in all of the racing sims I was able to compare, mostly like for like. So naturally, I thought the only possible thing to do with that piece of information would be to see just how slow a lap of the Nordschleife would be. Now, this car, the Porsche 911 GT3, will do a 6.5 minute lap roughly in the hands of a competent driver in Project Cars 2. I don't think it'll be doing that in the hands of the AI today. So we're going to start with a rolling start, which isn't probably the fastest way to start a lap, so maybe not the fairest of tests, but I really couldn't bear to do 2 laps. As you'll see, this is not quick. Honestly, you could probably manage not using 5th or 6th gear most of the time. It's pretty slow. The Project Cars 2 AI is quite interesting in the sense that when you turn it down right to the lowest setting, it sort of anchors up in the middle of corners. It brakes very early, as you'll see, and then on the apex, it'll slow down even more for some reason, and then it just absolutely boots it out of the corners. So it's sort of like, it's like following someone in traffic that just hasn't really got the message that just being calm is the answer. So I'm going to try and take in the scenery and not crash into the back of the AI. We're already a minute down and we haven't got as far as Flugplatz yet, so not great. Project Cars 2 does look fantastic still, particularly this autumn foliage around Nordschleife. There we go, we've topped out. Oh, we braked without any brake lights though, giving him a bit of a biff, but I turned damage off because I sort of suspected that I might give him a couple of love taps. If anything, that's probably improved his lap time a little bit. There you go, we are about 50% throttle in 5th gear, and I'm keeping up with the guy. I'm going to brake very, very early because I just have no idea where the AI is going to brake, so giving him a bit of space through some of the fast corners makes sense. Obviously we're losing a lot of heat through the tyres now. There's no heat in the brakes at all either, so it's pretty difficult if you get caught out and end up having to sort of anchor up mid-corner. This is the second run, yeah, and I got caught out there last lap as for some reason the AI decides to brake on the run down through Foxhole, and it's scary. Most of the braking points are sort of sensible, you just get caught out by the occasional weird one. Now, a smarter man than I would probably practice lines through here. It's not often you get the opportunity to absolutely crawl around a circuit and just really perfect those lines, particularly on a circuit like Nordschleife, where, you know, it is tricky to learn just because of the length of the thing. But with the AI just getting in the way constantly, as I get a huge lag spike for some reason there, not sure what that's about. Yeah, with the AI driving the way it is and not always being online itself, it just doesn't make it particularly appealing context. Context? What am I talking about? Speaking of context, the whole point of this channel is for all the extra bits, the sort of things that I want to demonstrate in videos but would totally tank the viewership, or would ruin an otherwise perfectly good video in this case. So that's why this has been found on this second channel, which I have yet to name. I'm excited to find out what it's going to be called. But yeah, we're saying a lot as I'm getting very caught out. This is actually quite hard. This is harder than driving a fast lap around Nordschleife. Okay, no, that's a lie. This is harder than driving a 97% lap around Nordschleife. AI getting on the grass there despite only doing 100 miles an hour. This was the part of the track that I absolutely ruined when I drove it for real over the last... Oh wow, I did exactly what he did there, and panic's the wrong word, but I decided to brake quite deep into the apex there, which in the Golf R I was driving it just didn't need. And it was very slow coming up the hill, because even with 350 odd brake horsepower in the Golf R, it was struggling to pull up the hill with well, 3 of us on board. Strangely, I mean, that's one thing that Nordschleife in racing sims doesn't really convey is the elevation change. We talked about it before, and lots of sim racers talk about it, as I am at about 30% throttle in fourth gear during this flat out part of the track. Wow. Yeah. AI is taking it very easy. This would be a good fuel save run, actually, if I was using the right gears for it. I'm having to concentrate so much more than I would be if I was just driving this normally. It's crazy. I was kind of hoping this would just be a nice Sunday drive and I could take in some of the foliage, but it's not happening that way. Again, AI gets some grass. Is he just doing it for style points? Will the AI go fast enough round the carousel to not just slide down it? That's what I want to know. Well, we're going to find out. Actually, a reasonable light. Okay, it's so hard to go this slowly. I think we dropped down into the 40s there. You can't see because my HUD's hidden behind the camera. That's the sort of professionalism you'll learn to expect on this channel. Everything's going to... I think a lot of the videos, maybe not everything, will sort of be 1 or 2 takes. There's not going to be a lot of retakes. It's not about carefully honing the finished product like on the main channel. This is really about just, here's a fun idea I thought about, or an extra piece of content that complements something I've already made. And in this case, I think it's kind of both. I keep trying to turn the headlights on. I'm not sure if it's working. It's making no difference. Oh, this is slow. We're coming up to the 6.5 minute mark with a good third of the lap left to go. So are we going to scrape under 10 minutes? This might actually be slower than my time in a Golf R in a GT3 car. That's kind of crazy. I'd kind of be happy about that. That's the thing, I did the lap with an instructor, and you sort of drive to the pace of an instructor when you're doing that sort of thing. Which is a good thing, because I probably would have gone a lot slower otherwise, just through panic, I think. While I've driven hundreds of laps of Nordschleife, thousands of laps probably in racing sims, it's very different when you get there, and I know everyone says that, but it's sort of important enough that it bears repeating as... wow, this is pedestrian. Pedestrian's the right word. There we go, that's what I wanted. A nice sun-drenched lap round the beautiful forest. Taking a lot of curb there for someone that's not in danger of troubling the track limits at all. Mind you, so am I. Can't talk. Tell you what, when Project Cars 2 is in the right settings, it really does look the part. See, I think that part of the lap felt a bit quicker in places than the early part. Go on, we're going to get on the gas? No, we're not. Wow. That was a surprise. See what we're going to top out on Dottinger Haye. I don't think we broke 130 miles an hour up the hill. He has booted it, with foot to the floor. Okay, now we're starting to back off a bit. 150 miles an hour? Not too bad. I'm about 90% throttle to keep up, 155. We're not going to beat 155. It's like it's a German car, isn't it? Limited to 155 miles an hour. They've put the road going version on. Actually, I don't think Porsche have agreed to. I think it's just BMW and Mercedes that do the 155 mile an hour sort of gentleman's agreement thing. There we go. Actually, we're going to be quite a bit under 10 minutes. That second part of the lap didn't scale as well because Dottinger Haye was sort of 99% there. Oh, that's slow. Not under 9 minutes though. Let's find out the answer. I'm not sure why it was giving me a potential lap time there. 9:05.4 flat for the AI, 9054 for me, because I wasn't quite as alongside at the end. I forgot we did a rolling start. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that, because sure as hell that none of us learned anything worthwhile here today. So I guess all that's left to say is thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.